My people, welcome back to the Shairi podcast. As always, I am your host, JJ. And last week I mentioned that we have started doing merch. Finally, after the museum performance, a lot of guys were like, JJ, those t-shirts are so cool. We need one. Now. They're here. Pre-order yourself an Array Shairi t-shirt on Array Records on any social media platform, and we will get in touch with you on prices and all the details. And now, guys, today we have to be nice and welcoming and very sweet to this person that I am talking to today, because it is 3 years. 3 years, guys. It's been 3 years since her last interview, and I am beyond excited, like na feel poor, guys, that I may break your dry spell your interviews on Array Shairi. So this is an honor, and I am so psyched that we are doing this. Help me welcome, hey guys, help me welcome Rebian Artis. Karibu sana. Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the Array Shairi podcast. I'm so glad you are here. Yeah. Okay, guys. So now, interesting story. I used to see Rebian around. The beauty of this industry of ours, okay, it's a good and bad thing that it's small, but that it's small, that means we get to meet people and we get to see each other consistently. So Rebian is a face that I have been seeing around couple of events, and then I was Timo. Thank you, Timo, by the way. Timo put me in touch with her, and I was like, oh, I know her. So tell us about Rebian. I like starting with people's names. How did you settle on going by Rebian Artis? Because Artis, I love Artis. That's such a cool name.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Karibu sana.
Rebian. So my name is Sharon Rebian Artis. Rebian comes from Rebi. Rebi is my middle name.
Yeah.
So I settled on Rebian. That was a genius idea.
It is. Yeah, it sounds really cool.
Artis comes from Atieno. But now being artistic, I write it as artist. As an artist, but artist.
Yeah.
So that's why I call myself Rebian Artist.
That's like the one thing I noticed. Like the first part is art, and then artist. I was like, oh, then it must be part of your name. That's really cool. Let's talk about your journeys with the spoken word and poetry. How did you start doing spoken word and poetry?
First I started in 2017.
Yes.
So it will be 5 years. I started at PAL, Poetry After Lunch.
Yeah.
And I think it's been a good journey.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it.
So PAL was the first stage?
Yeah. The first time I interacted with spoken word poetry as it being performed was by watching an interview. And nilikuwa na watch Kwekari. And I was like, instead of just writing, because I used to write. Yeah. I didn't know it can be performed. So from there, and then I started interacting with spaces. Could want to perform poetry, so I'd go to those spaces. And I remember going to the space where she was still performing, and she would talk about spaces zenye pia kuna such kind of art. Yeah. And she mentioned PAL, and alikuwa anasema iko at KNT, and I think upon if you're passionate enough unajituma. I had to go to KNT, and siku ya kwanza I went just feel the vibe and see and just
like how get the lay of the land.
Exactly. It was naendaje huko. I asked about it. So I attended like twice, and the third time I registered as a first timer. And
you just took the leap. What inspired you, so to say, to switch from writing to performing?
I think with writing, unless you're doing like you have a blog or anything, with performing it reaches more people. So it's a bigger audience.
It's more lively. Gives it life.
The things, the kind of poetry I do, it gets internalized better when it's performed. So I prefer performing it rather than just writing it.
All right, let's actually talk about the type of poetry you do, because I saw a couple of links, and I like to call your poems thought-provoking, because the ones I've seen, you talk about things people are very uncomfortable to hear about. Where does that come from? How do you choose the topics to write on and perform on?
I think life itself, because I talk about rape, I talk about love, but because life itself, it's inspiring, and with everyday things that are happening, kuna death, kuna early pregnancies, kuna watu wanawachwa, kuna nini, like, so for me, I just pick from what I see. Some I've gone through, some are just experiences I've seen. So for me, it's all about life and how it inspires a person, and I choose to express it the best way I do. And there are those that I express in English. Most zingine I express na Sheng, because at the end of the day, you can only tell your truth in a language you understand.
Especially like when you're there's a piece I saw you're talking about the ghetto. It's very hard to talk about Kenyan ghettos not to me English. It's that it wouldn't be that relatable. Okay, so normally artists, poets, let me talk about spoken word artists, poets, they play safe. They avoid talking about certain things because that means they have to answer certain questions, certain difficult questions. So what is your take on poets addressing difficult societal issues?
As I think art is a calling, and there are people who are good with entertaining, there are people who are good with who just saying it as it is. At the end of the day, it is how it is received. As you choose the kind of audience you want. There are places I know I'll go and they might not relate with my pieces. Because for me, I use my poetry as a way of activism, so I call it activism. So I want to talk about like democracy, corruption, and as an activist, I don't think, if I'm an activist and I'm a poet, that's my platform to address such issues. So
however difficult they may be.
So for me, that's how I'll take it. Some people think I'm sad. Okay, most of our pieces are.
We're called sad artists, the saddest of the artists.
But the situation, tutacheka kila kitu, kuna time in Africa and you have to like call it as it is. Like, it's a spade. It's not a big spoon.
It's not.
Just call it as it is.
Is there a favorite topic you like writing about?
Is there a favorite topic? I don't know. Life is a favorite topic. Because you write from your experiences. Not all of them, but I say I talk about social justice. That's my favorite topic, and social justice in terms of issues like corruption, mob justice, rape, death, like things that affect the society on a daily basis. So, social justice is my favorite.
It's I like that you're so openly accepting of that people should talk about these topics a lot more, because people find themselves, a lot of us I've interacted with here and there prefer writing about love, easy things, because this other side is very difficult. That's why I was like, you guys, you have to hear why Rebian does what she does, because it's more than just the words, which is what I want to talk about next. Is how did you decide to use your poetry to help others other than express your own personal experiences?
First, I think you can only start from spaces you've been, from familiar spaces, and when I write about my experiences, the kind of environment nilikuwa nayo, unapata the other person will relate, and the experiences that naweza kwa sijapitia personally, but to some extent I can understand, but that doesn't mean that I don't know what the other person have gone through.
Yeah.
So let's say if I'm talking about death, in an African society, death is a taboo. We don't talk about it. Like it happens, and even how we grieve. Like tunataka kugrieve mbio to go to the next topic.
Yeah.
As much as, and it's here to stay. You know, death is here.
Yeah. It's part of our reality.
It's here.
Yeah.
Yes. Another topic like rape. Why I talk about it is because people think rape only happens when you dress in a certain way, or you, and this is what I say when it comes to sexual abuse. It's not about sex. Yeah. It's about power. Rape is about power.
Yeah, it's not about the physical act of it. Yes.
If it's sex, anyone, that's what people talk about sex, and then be like, mbona siende tu kwa chukwe.
Yeah, anywhere I'm lipe too. Yeah.
But no, there's marital sex. There's and especially me Nikki address rape and address in those spaces where you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Like
in relationships.
In relationships, kama marital sex, people will be like, yo, ni bibi yako, mbona unasema rape?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's all about consent. So na pia naongelea station labda it's your father who's abusing you. But because hatutaki kuaibisha ubako, nyamaza, people don't think about the victim.
Yes.
It's always about itaonekana aje huko nje, unaona ukisema hivi babako akishikwa, who will be the breadwinner.
Yeah. And if you're also certain victims, like, because not all of them are artists and not of them are expressive.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there's like people who they will go through it in silence, but then you as an artist, you've identified there's someone who's going through it and they need a voice. Yeah. I love that reason, absolutely. And finally, on a much lighter note, let's talk about your hobbies. What does Rebian do for fun that inspires your art, your poetry?
I love dancing.
Oh yeah, I remember when we were talking about music. I asked what type of music you like, and you're like, anything that will make me dance.
Yeah, I'm a social dancer. By social dancing, I mean, sing only ngoma ikiweka tuta dance.
Yeah.
But routines ni crazy. I don't choreography.
Can do a whole choreography. Yeah, it's so, just for fun.
I love dancing. I love listening to music. And yeah, I think I also love imitating, and I think nowadays I do that on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That the TikTok thing, I'm yet to like understand it. I'm sure it's an acquired taste, but that's interesting. You've created a platform, an audience there?
I just joined it.
Okay.
I joined it last month because I was just like, I said, this is what I said. 2020 came and tulikuwa ndani, and I was like, but the lockdown ikiendelea, then get it so.
Niliendelea,
and I was like, yeah, so it's a nice space. I'm not necessarily doing poetry there. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, even as a poet, I still have other things that I do.
Yes.
I do for fun, so it's just showing other things that I do that are not necessarily.
I actually would like to. I actually prefer encouraging like more artists to put a little more of their personalities of who they are online to make your work more relatable, so that even when you perform, I'm not listening to a robot. Like I've seen you online, I've seen you goof around, I've seen like you're a real person, and when you can just decide to sit down and be serious and talk about something, it will actually give people something to relate to.
Yeah, I think as an artist, there's this mystery that people want to create around themselves. Like sense you get like
I just wake up and spit fire.
I don't go to events, but I think you've seen me in events, in other events that I don't perform. I want to listen to music. So I think it's understanding that at the end of the day we are humans. We have other things that we do. And
All right. Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. I was about to say having us. But thank you so much for joining us, Rebian. Guys, this has been Rebian Artis. They can find you on social media at...
Instagram at Miss_Rebian. Facebook, Rebian Artis.
Yes.
Yeah, and... I think that's it.
We have to say TikTok, man. We're not avoiding this TikTok thing, by the way.
At
Rebian 1. All right, guys. And now we'll get to enjoy a performance from Rebian Artis herself. Yay.
I'll see you when we get there. I see you when I get there. I see you when I get there. I'll see you. I've tried catching all these doctors. One has had a coffee break for the last 1 hour. His coffee must be in a kettle. The other one has been locked with the secretary for a while. She's consulting him. At last, an intern walks towards me. He fidgets a little, then she's dead. He says, trying to look concerned, okay. I reply, I can't cry here. We are sorry for the loss, he adds. Thank you. Who is she to you? He asks again. She's my sister, I whisper. Are you okay? Am I okay? I guess yes, at least. I'm not screaming. Have never been good with small talk, so the Q's and A's aren't my cup of tea. He continues with the questions and false concern, and damn, he's getting on my nerves because how are you concerned when you look like you want to run? I thought. He continues with the questions, and our conversation is reduced to nods and shakes. Then something is stuck on my throat. I need to leave. I need to breathe. He keeps speaking and my ears have a loud ring. All I see is his moving lips. My mind keeps distancing itself from this. My heart has gone into a silent throb. My head just ricochets questions through my being like, am I okay? Am I ready for this? Do I wait for a more mature relative to handle this? Because I do not know how to handle bodies once they go lifeless. I don't know if I'm afraid of or just confused of her corpse. I don't know if I'm mad because of the consultation fee I paid just to come and find her lifeless. I don't know if I'm mad at the doctors for not treating her case as an emergency or mad at her for leaving without saying goodbye. She's late, So I sit at the side of the bed and I'm thinking to myself, maybe the doctor is just trying my patience. Maybe my sister is just tired from that trip to the hospital and decided to rest before treatment. Maybe if I just call her loud enough, she'll reply. So I go to her and go like, cheki, dogo amka tumefika usi. Cheki amka tumefika usi. Dogo. And I think that's when my maybes remain to be maybes, and I want to peep into the sheets covering her body, then shock, confusion, and loss entangle in my thoughts because I'm numb. I've become numb to feelings, numb to emotion, numb to the fact that I paid 500 shillings for a consultation that never happened. I gave my all for a life that I couldn't save. I lost time and I lost the chance to say goodbye. I lost myself in my thoughts, in my blame game. I don't think I was too serious when I got the news that she was sick. I wish I was faster in looking for a taxi. I wish I knew how to drive and drive faster to save a life. I wish I had a better relationship with her. Maybe she could have given me a chance that she's living her last days. I lost count on how many times I wish that all this was a dream. A scary nightmare that I could just wake up and rebuke. A bad dream that I could just cast away with a smile from her. For a moment, reality just didn't look so genuine, or maybe I was just never prepared. I don't know. I don't know what I regret the most. Her death, or not knowing she was dying. Still, I lost her. And loss has no degrees because death doesn't undo itself. Kwa menu economy, chafua ya 16% tax on diesel, suru expensive housing, ndondo inflation, kata electricity bills, social rationed water, na paswa ya fare haiko fare, inasokota tumbo, inapandisha temperatures za life, mshahara ndogo ina weaken my joints, symptoms ni za malaria, sina hata net naweza google cure, pia water inaonja chumvi ndani ya chupa, stress kibao rada na tupa, ni vile life imenipress ndani ya hii city, Nairobi capital iko govern na sonko so msoto, utashinda umetama kwa imara mcause vitu haziko barabara. Ni hii job insecurity imefanya na treasure job yangu ya security kwa building ya 32 floors, serene reception na entrance ya glass doors. Nafaa kuchunga mali ya thamani but nina rungu tu mkononi. Room ni 4x4, shiny boots na oversized uniform. Niko self-contained but sina choo. Hapa hakuna network, so all my calls ndazimake nikienda home. Serikali haizi saidia hapa, so kwa ile kona yangu tu ndo nitajisaidia. But kama kawa jiji na wenyewe, mimi kifaranga tu na kanjo ndio mwewe. So noma ya kunyora kwa fence imenieka behind bars na walevi wana picture hii scenario yangu nikaiko framed. Maybe inaweza kuwa ni ukweli cause as much as that corner was my favorite spot, na shuku tulikuwa wengi kwa mpango wa kando. So sometimes pressures of life zinaweza fanya hata uhate even the simplest sign. Kausikojoe hapa.